Okay, I think maybe sound now?
Testing,
Somebody.
testing. Can everyone hear us?
Okay, we had no sound.
Just waiting
Yeah,
for someone in the
that's
chat
now.
to say
We're
they can
good.
hear us.
Oh
Works
yeah,
now.
I,
Hooray! Okay,
Sweet.
let's try that again.
Right, hello.
So what I was saying that you couldn't hear but could see was hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. Your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist. Welcome to another episode of Trash Heroes, the 5th Ed Dungeons & Dragons stream, wherein we recount epic adventures of this wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures we call the Trash Heroes. And as always, our players are a wonderful collection of talented internet cartoonists. You can check out their work, their websites, their social media links in the upper right-hand corner or on YouTube in the video description. And with no further ado, let's meet the characters. Keeper of the vermin, protector of the trash heap, it is Fetid Quaggle.
Hi.
Next, we have the larger-than-life pit fighting superstar, Ugna Sugartusks. Our trickster cleric, rogue baker, and all-around party animal, Tromlin Darioles. And the
Huh.
all-natural Genasi swamp druid, Glorpa. And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who's also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
who said ancient?
How do we know it's accidental?
I just read what says on the card.
Wait a minute. Who wrote that card? Can we trust them?
I think it was his patron. So I'm going to start today with a little brief recap since the last game was basically an Agatha Christie novel. And I just want to make sure everyone is aware of where we left off. Apologies that I live near a hospital. Just wait for a second for the sirens to recede. Okay, so a quick recap for the players as well. Last game you were camped out by the town gate and were attacked in the night by a shadow creature, or at least a person's shadow, a silhouette, that was fairly easily dispatched by Copernicus's force lightning. And the
Don't
creature
forget,
left
he
behind
also
him.
yelled "fuck."
Yes, and he yelled "fuck."
We did.
Sorry, guys. It's not a
Grandpa
Elsewhere.
fucks.
PG stream. Um,
And by him and he yells it.
and the creature left behind a magical dagger, which you have collected. You also found that your contact in the Thieves Guild, Otto Thriftwick, had been murdered in the night by a similar creature. And a bunch of investigation ensued, which included searching the house, speaking with plants, speaking with the dead. And by the end of all this, half of the group, consisting of Copernicus, Fetid, and Glorpa, had learned that Otto might have been killed by an enemy raven cult and someone called Edric, and that some of his merchant documents were stolen, records of sales. They also learned that the Lord of Stormhill is none other than Tromlin's uncle, who may or may not be predisposed against, or predisposed, that's an interesting word, predisposed against his nephew, and who has also already sent away for assistance from the king in the form of troops that are going to be coming in some recent or imminent time frame, and as well as some kind of magician investigator who's going to look into Otto's death. And while that was occurring, Tromlin and Ugna made contact with the Thieves Guild through some of his contacts, including Mrs. Pennywhistle, the junk dealer, and they also spied on an orc called Rollin Hardshank, who seemed to be gathering information about your merchant friend Diomedes and was talking about selling it presumably to the bandits. And we ended with the group gathering back together on the wharf and making contact with a small group of Quaggles named Ratty, Moly, and Badger. And we were just waiting for Copernicus, who you were going to meet at a fishmonger's. I'm going to retcon because I'm just going to accept where this is going and change the name from John to Justin Justin McElroy,
Oh God.
Yep.
the fishmonger. I'm just
Okay.
going to lean into it.
The fishmonger, was he the one that had information on Scarfang?
No. None of you have any idea of why Copernicus wants to meet at the fishmongers. The fishmonger was the one that Diomedes suggested to Copernicus as a potential place to have butchery performed.
Yeah, I've made
so-
you all gather at the place that I'm going to get a bunch of fish guts for cheap.
Yeah,
and there's
basically.
no other
I
reason we're
mean,
here.
That sounds appropriate for our group. We didn't smell
Oh,
bad
man,
enough
think of
already.
the- I was
Yeah.
gonna say, think of the smell. It's gonna be such an improvement.
Yeah.
You have several potential leads on meeting with Scarfang. Mrs. Pennywhistle said that she would put out word within the guild that you want to speak to him. She also suggested that you talk to Roland Hardshank, which you haven't done yet. Tromlin went and sort of spied on his conversation, but didn't actually talk to him. And then, of course, you also now have contact with the Quaggles, who told you if you needed to speak to them further, that you could come to the North Ravine, where people throw their trash, which is where the Quaggles live. And that
I
Quaggles
also
might
sent
have
one to
information.
Diomedes.
Sorry, say again?
I had sent one to get Diomedes as well.
Yeah,
So,
you sent one with a message to have Diomedes come and meet you at Mrs. Pennywhistle's.
Mm.
And that is
Sorry,
where we left off.
Dun dun dun.
A lot of moving
So you're
parts.
looking for a fishmonger's, and it takes you very little to ask around about the fishmonger, Justin McElroy. I'm kind of trying to decide if his name is hyphenated or if he's Justin McElroy, like his name is Justin Roy, and everybody calls him Mackerel.
Hey,
I think
Mac.
definitely hyphenated.
Yeah.
I think the hyphenated.
Yeah.
Yep.
The intermarriage of the Mackerel fishing
Family.
empire
Mhm.
and the Roy clan.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Stormhill Roy family.
Excellent.
Can you quickly remind me which Boltree is Lord in this city?
Yep.
Aemon?
Aemond is Tromlin's father. This is Lord Dracos.
Who's the nephew?
Yeah, Lord Dracos Boltree. Dracos is the brother of Aemond Boltree,
Oh, brother. Okay.
and
Oh, right.
therefore
they're both nephews
Tromlin's
to Lady
uncle.
Mormont. Okay,
Correct.
cool.
Man, eventually if you're gonna continuously try to build the family tree, this is gonna get quite fun. For those who missed it last time, Copernicus has a background trait called extended family, which basically means that everywhere you guys go, there's a pretty solid chance that you might be able to find a member of the extended Sunshine family.
Yeah, me and Barb fucked a lot. So
Well, and you tell us about it.
a lot.
We know.
In detail.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We
So
were
before we
very
get
active.
before we get into the meat of the adventure, I'm going to make a few announcements to the chat. The first of which is that we are going to start off with a poll. So there is going to be a live poll here, and if anybody wants to tweet about the poll too, you could drive some people in here. The poll is going to run for 10 minutes, and this is the first of many where you, the viewers, are going to have the chance to help decide what's going to happen in the game.
Help decide, yeah.
Are going to help by deciding what's going to happen in the game. So my shadow DM Dan is going
Whoa.
to post that poll in the chat.
Hang on. Something's falling on me.
Oh, we have some emergency occurring.
I bumped my green screen, and now it's going to fall on my head.
Asters with the set here.
There. Okay. Crisis averted.
Crisis is averted. So while that poll is getting set up, I'll continue with the rest of our announcements. So if you hadn't joined us last time or hadn't already noticed, we have the option for subscription to the stream. If you subscribe to the stream, you get a number of benefits. You get to watch ad-free, of course. You get access to the excellent Trash Heroes emoticons, which we'll get more of as we get more subscribers. We get more and more emoticon options. And most importantly, you will have access to the subscriber-only Discord. If you are already a subscriber, the way to do this is going to be to sign into your Discord and sync your Discord account with your Twitch account, and it will automatically add you to the subscriber Discord. If you would rather not sync it for some reason, you can also potentially contact Alina and ask to be added so that you can be just directly added
Send you an invite
to
link.
the subscriber Discord.
And welcome
Did
to
we
our
lose
brand
sound
new.
again?
Did we? I don't have the chat open, so I can't see alerts.
Oh, just one person that said no sound.
Really? Oh.
Okay, the poll is now live.
Shout
So
out
you
to our
have
new
10
subscriber,
minutes to
Harry
vote in the
M.
poll.
David, because that's rad. Thanks, bud.
Oh,
So go ahead and vote in the poll. You can vote multiple times if you have bits that you want to spend. Subscriber votes count double. And I'm excited to see the results of the poll in about 10 minutes.
Let me know when I can watch the chat again.
Yeah, we're not allowed to chat with you now for
No.
10 minutes because we can't know what happened.
We've been.
This first one you
Denied.
can, because I already told you guys what this poll was.
Oh,
Okay.
I was not
Just
listening.
don't-
So I
Just
actually,
don't hit the drop down so you
Spoilers.
don't see the options.
Spoilers.
And I will, the last thing regarding subscriptions is that probably starting next game, not this one, since we want to give people time to subscribe, we are going to have a regular draw where we give out a door prize to one subscriber, one lucky subscriber each game. And that door prize is going to be a sketch card, some art, some artwork that is contributed to by all of our wonderful cartoonist players.
A digital sketch card, because mailing
A
is.
digital, yeah, just
Email's good.
digital drawings of cool D&D stuff. So we'll start doing that next time, and I'll probably shout that out throughout the 2-week period leading up to next game. So if there are no questions that pop up in the chat,
Let's play some D&D.
particularly from subscribers, we are ready to play some Dungeons and or Dragons. So yeah, you quickly find the fishmonger's stall of Justin McElroy, which I'm never going to tire of saying. At the far end of the wharf, it's a fairly large outfit. They're clearly the biggest fishmonger around. It's very Seattle. There's people shouting as they throw fish, and a small audience are there, kind of like being very, very pleased to observe the traditional chucking of the salmon. And you can see big burly Justin McElroy with his he has a big beard. He's a big, heavy-set guy who is very clearly in charge of this fish-selling empire that he's built. And you go hang around near the crowd waiting for Copernicus to show up. Now, Copernicus, you are, or you were invisible, having scouted out the castle and then headed down to the shoreline after your friends. So you can either show up invisible and pop out of nowhere, or you can ditch the invisibility on the way down, as you choose.
well, it's being invisible is free when you've already started it. So I'm going to keep on riding the invisibility train to eavesdrop town until it's convenient to drop it. So I'm going to lurk in the background and see what happens.
Okay. Well, they're all kind of hanging around and waiting for you. So what happens
Alright.
is whatever the discussion is as they hang around waiting. So I will remind Fetid and Glorpa that Tromlin and Ugna do not yet know the things you discovered up at the castle when Copernicus was questioning the dead, followed by questioning the Lord
I
Boltree.
think we missed out on the whole questioning the dead idea, which is probably
In
for the
general,
best.
yes.
Hmm.
I'm
while
really
you're-
curious to hear someone else summarize what happened, so I'm definitely going to eavesdrop.
Huh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It was
feel like
complicated.
everything is new to Glorpa. She's like, I don't know. You guys ever seen a dead person talk?
No.
I just
I mean,
thought I'd ask.
There was one time that this guy, we thought he was dead, and then he sat up and started talking, but I guess he wasn't really dead, so it doesn't count.
No, that's kind of what happened
Really?
with us
Oh.
earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I
there's like
thought he was
a
dead. Like he was really dead.
he was.
He had like a knife in his
He
chest, dead.
is. Still is. Yeah.
But he was talking?
Well, the knife was in his mouth. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he mentioned something about a raven cult.
I wrote it down as a
Huh.
crow gang.
Yes, Crow Gang.
Yeah.
Like
There's
Arakakra or something?
I don't know what that is.
The bird folks. There's a real good one of them who
Oh.
fights up in Ravenfall. Man, they're
Ah.
hard to catch.
I'm having a really hard time concentrating on this conversation because there's just like raw fish being flung around everywhere, and I'm essentially like trapped in that circle of hell where the fruit is dangling forever just outside your reach. Only in this case, it's fish flying overhead. So I'm a little distracted.
Got a little drool.
I will walk to a close by fish vendor and ask, basically just to buy a fish for our friend.
Is it
Sure.
your friend Fetid? I hope.
Yes.
Okay, good.
There's
No,
there's a
respect.
wide variety of little oily fishes as well as the larger prized.
How much for the larger one?
You can get them like a salmon, something like that.
Ooh.
I'll
For,
get a salmon. I'll try to have.
You can get a whole salmon. Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's probably like half as big as he is.
Fancy.
Mhm.
Poll is ending in less than 2 minutes, so keep those votes coming. Just a reminder generally to the chat. I can see what's winning right now.
So the dead guy,
Um,
he didn't know who killed him, right?
Not by name.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's these Raven folk cult.
Yeah. I picture him getting pecked to death. I think that's how it works.
I'll drop invisibility here, and say, "Oh, hello,
Ah!
friends. Sorry, just catching up. These old bones don't move as fast as they used to. But yes, no, we had a investigation on the body, and learned some things. And our best suspect for who might have done it or who might be behind it is Edric, I believe, in Ravenfall, at least as an enemy of Otto. And where's Tromlin? I have something I should probably warn him about.
I return with a salmon and hand it to Fetid.
I immediately start stuffing it down my gullet hole, sort of like a cross between a pelican and a garbage disposal situation, just kind of cramming it in there.
Good.
Finn?
What is a
Just like-
pelican but a
just
living
like-
garbage disposal?
Yeah.
I'm
That's what I
imagining
expect.
teeth inside your throat that like rotate to grind it as it goes down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do eat rocks, so that
Yeah, you're
helps.
just getting it into your crop.
Just in your
Yeah.
gizzard.
Mhm.
I'm impressed.
I fall
agree, man.
over, but that's not enough to get me to stop trying to cram this entire salmon down my throat.
It's like when a seagull gets a fish that's too big for it, and it just hangs out with the fish still hanging out of its mouth
Yep.
for like the tail's still sticking out to one side as the head is in there getting digested, and it's just going to take time to like slowly get the rest of it.
Ugnu's
I mean,
completely
my-
fascinated and also disgusted, but
My
mostly
stomach
fascinated.
acid is so powerful that like really you can throw like a penny down there and it'll be gone in 5 minutes. So it shouldn't.
But dearest grandnephew of mine, do you remember
Your
your?
grandson.
Oh yes, or it's all it gets a little fuzzy after a few generations. But do you remember your recently discovered homicidal family?
Oh, hang on a second. We are
Yes.
disconnected. We're trying to reconnect. Restarted.
Oh.
We had a
Okay.
hiccup.
What was that, grandfather? Please repeat for the invisible people watching.
Oh, I was just wondering if you happen to recall your recently discovered homicidal family, the ones that want to murder you in case you take their inheritance and name? Those ones.
Yes, I do believe I recall something about that. Yes.
Well, they run this city, and I may have told them that you're here.
Oh, hang
So
on,
I
hang on
just
a
thought,
second. Hang on a second. I think we might still be frozen.
Oh, man.
It says that we're started here. I can see the chat. We're a little laggy though.
Yeah, we're back up.
We're back up.
Okay. I was just getting messages. So
We're on like
All right.
a minute or so delay. So
carry on. Also, people can keep in mind there is a low latency toggle that you can disable to make sure that you just get more lag rather than an actual pause. But anyway, carry on.
Tell us what a great time Trauma's gonna have here.
yeah. So
Oh,
I just thought
yeah.
it would be fitting to warn you that your homicidal family, who recently discovered your existence, owns and runs this city, and I may have told them that you're here, and also that they've already called down the King's Guard and his magical CSI force to come investigate the murder, to which we are very heavily attached. So what you do with this information is up to you. I don't like to tell people how to live their lives, but I would suggest that we lay low and avoid the inn, as also that's being watched very carefully already. How's your day going?
Until a few minutes ago, wonderful.
Oh.
But thank you for warning me. That means we need to get this stuff settled as quick as possible, because there's no way this isn't getting pinned on me. Well, I have to meet Diomedes to warn him about his caravan being a likely. I feel that we owe him. It will not win me any favors with bandits, but fuck them.
Did you have a set place where you were gonna meet him yet?
Yeah, I sent one of the other scroungelings
Yeah.
to get him to meet me at Pennywise.
Okay.
So I will go there. I have a feeling I should probably not be traveling anywhere alone now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we should
I
also
feel like we
assume
should.
that we should also assume that everything we're doing is absolutely being watched.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if
Ugnu
you
starts
are
looking
able
around
to,
like under the table.
You
if
pick
you
up
are
a
perhaps able
table
to disguise
look under
yourself, it might be a good time to perhaps don a disguise or be a little less noticeable. Do
So I
you know
have
how much they know about you?
Oh.
Hmm?
Do you know how much they know about you, your family?
The party?
No, the family that's trying to kill you. Do they know what you look like, your name? How much do
I
they
have
know?
no idea. My character honestly knows nothing. I just know that there have been attempts all my life, and I know why.
Well,
You know that the attempts were linked to your siblings, or at
Yes.
least one of them. Yeah.
well, it's their uncle, who I believe is in command here, and he did not inherit the Sunshine Charm. He is what Barb would have called a bit of an asshole.
I concur already without meeting him that Grandma was correct. I will get into a disguise then, I guess, my friends.
Polymorph. Can I turn you into something cute?
Please don't polymorph me.
I'm gonna do it against his will. He has to do a saving, or I think a will throw. If
Oh my
I do
god.
What would you like to turn him into?
Oh, good.
that.
Oh, good.
A caterpillar, a fat one.
Content warning: non-consensual polymorphing.
Glorpa's not good at consent.
We
Yeah,
gotta teach her.
You can roll to
Oh.
save though.
That'd be a good lesson to to start with.
Unwilling creature must make a wisdom saving throw to avoid the effect.
Well, the good news is I have a +4 on it.
You're gonna be in trouble if you win.
21.
Ooh.
That will make it.
Damn it!
However, I'm not sure. I'll have you make an Arcana check. Actually, everybody observing can make an Arcana check
I'm not even gonna bother.
to know if a spell is even. Yeah, except for people who don't have any Arcana. Actually, I think I'm only going to allow this for the people who have
I've got a -1.
who have proficiency in Arcana. So
Okay,
this is
then
just going to
Oh,
be
only proficiency. Good, I'm out. I'm safe.
Copernicus.
14, bad roll.
You missed it. No one is actually aware that Glorpa just tried to cast that spell other
Good.
than Glorpa.
I didn't. I was just picking
I just
stuff
sneezed.
out of my armpit. Usual.
Cromwell,
Yeah,
you
you
just
missed the
felt kind of
spot.
weird, and then it passed.
Okay, that was weird. I can take care of my own disguise.
Oh.
Sure.
Cromlin actually has a background trait called striking looks. He is exceptionally handsome, as everyone has noticed. But it does mean, as an exceptionally handsome satyr, that he attracts a fair amount of attention. And in fact, I would like a perception roll from everybody here. I'm going to give a penalty to Copernicus and Tromlin, who were involved in the conversation at the time. So you guys are making a perception roll at -5. Everyone else is just rolling straight perception.
Oh, are we frozen? We may be frozen again.
Jeez.
I don't know what's going on with our connection today.
Seems to still be working on my screen.
Oh, okay, good,
but
good,
Yeah, I can still see it.
cool.
Remember, there's two things in question, right? There's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
what you're getting and what you're broadcasting.
And
So like
even 10 for
I for
Ugna.
example, this one computer buffers a lot on the
Right,
stream,
right.
and then I find that no one else is seeing it. So, but you were saying?
Even 10 for Ugna.
Same.
17.
thank
-1.
God. 9.
Ooh.
Okay, so Glorpa, who is kind of like looking at the at your staff, your willow staff that you use to cast spells,
Yes.
and because you're like, wow, why didn't that work? But as you're doing so, as Tromlin and Copernicus are having this little conversation about the Lord of the City, whatever his name was, because I'm sure Glorpa couldn't care less. But you do notice someone in the crowd at the fishmonger is kind of sidled closer to Tromlin and Copernicus during this conversation, and is sort of kind of leaning in, clearly eavesdropping. I'm not sure though how Glorpa would read that, because Glorpa isn't, it's like the social niceties of listening to other people's conversations might
But
be a
she
little lost on
probably
Glorpa.
enjoy the fact that he's getting close, and maybe she'd try to get closer to him, and that might not go so well for him if he's got a good sense of smell. So Glorpa does exactly, starts kind of just doing like mirror play and just does exactly what he's doing, but really close to him.
Leaning in towards him.
Oh,
like
get a good breath going on there.
Yeah. Like if he
Okay,
scratches
well,
his ear, I scratch my ear. Just get real
uh,
annoying.
as soon as like you do that, I mean, it's pretty obvious to him that he's been discovered listening in, and so he'll quickly sort of bustle away. He'll just sort of like try to look like, oh, I wasn't listening. I wouldn't, just like if
Normal
someone was
situation.
like
Normal day for
eavesdropping
Glorpa.
on your, yeah, if someone was eavesdropping on your conversation on the bus or something, and they realized that you noticed, trying to like, I was listening. So everyone will notice after that because Glorpa
Mhm.
kind of drew everyone's attention to it that some guy in the crowd was trying to listen in.
Oh, great.
I,
We've got tails.
well, I can take care of myself, and I'm the most likely target. So maybe I do need to go alone for a while. So you
Hey, not alone.
No. Bring Ugna.
everyone will know the only thing more obvious than the satyr is the bone smasher.
I mean, maybe you could put a hat on me or something?
Like that
Would
idea.
I be able
I
to
can do
use
that.
Pass Without Trace to shake whatever tail we might have?
Certainly, if you guys are going to try to do something stealthy, like head in a certain direction, duck down an alley, then Pass Without Trace would make that very, more likely to succeed.
I do still
Basically, you
think
give
we should
everyone
stick
plus 10.
together. I feel like if anybody comes for you, you're going to be much better off with the rest of us backing you up than half the party or by yourself, and then we have to try and figure out where you are and what's going on.
Yeah, the last person we left on his own got, knife in the throat.
That's true.
In
Good
fairness,
point.
I have not angered a cult.
I mean, yet? Who
I don't know
knows?
that.
We don't know.
I've
Unless your family's
I
kind of
may have
cult-like.
angered a few in my day, but
Mm,
it happens.
all that fucking. Sometimes you do it where you're not supposed to, and a cult gets mad.
I've pissed off gods you haven't even heard of.
Ooh.
I believe it. I haven't heard of any gods. I live in the dump.
One moment, please. Is there like a place nearby that I can kind of duck behind?
Phone booth.
fast.
Phone booth. Do it in a phone booth.
Ugna, just duck behind Ugna.
I do provide full cover.
That actually would work. Yeah, you could kind of like pull
I'm your
Ugna
phone
back
booth.
towards an alley to sort of block the entrance and then duck behind her and be
Alright,
completely
cool.
obscured.
I'm going to activate my tattoo disguise.
Excellent. Please describe the results.
Now, can I change race as well, or am I
Oh,
still
yes.
safe? Oh, cool. I reappear as a very mundane looking.
So your maximum range is a foot shorter or taller than yourself.
Okay.
So like there are some limits on racial changes because like obviously you're probably not tall enough to make a convincing ogre.
Yeah, I'm not
even
gonna
with
try
that
that.
foot.
That was
But
not.
that's a pretty
consideration.
wide range though. That gives you a pretty wide set of options.
I turn myself into a tall, lanky human who is dressed as a common dock worker.
Cool. Completely
And,
covering up the striking looks, of course.
Yes, like just looking a little haggard. Probably look like I might, later, like this. I look like this now.
Your alter ego is just Randy.
That's just sadder.
Doing on some grass, some hayseed or something.
A man with an entire pie to himself
Mhm.
steps out from behind Ugna.
Yep.
Oh.
Excellent.
All right, I'm disguised, everyone. Just remove some of the.
So just for a moment here, from Ugna's perspective, so Tromlin sort of pulls you over towards the mouth of the alley, steps behind you, and then instead of Tromlin, this other guy, this dock worker, human, bearded fellow,
Pie eater.
comes out around you.
That sounds
I
filthy,
mean-
Danielle.
I
So
think
that's
Ugna
a
gets
canon
enough of the
insult.
thread though to like be like, oh wow,
Mhm.
he's real good at disguising himself.
Would you have pulled this trick around at Ugna before?
Oh, I've
Seems
had
The
to,
magic
likely.
tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm sure I've had to tell her more than once, like, it's me, and I've had to prove to her, like, here's historical memories we had.
Mhm.
Oh no, we have a code word. We definitely have a code word for like this is actually Tromlin.
I look at you, Ragdoll Rakshasha.
Mmm.
The cutest kind of Rakshasa.
That was our safe word too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Runs in the
Also
family.
one of our favorite positions.
oh.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no,
Everyone
no.
has to draw what that looks
So
like
which one of
now.
you is the ragdoll and which one's the Rakshasa?
In the best of times, neither of us could tell either.
I don't know if they want my
Okay,
fine.
so I'm gonna head off that line of
So you're Bob
investigation.
Dockman. Hi, Bob.
So
Or as-
keeping in mind, Randy, that spell, that ability lasts for about an hour. But you do also have a disguise kit for more long-term disguise if you
Yeah.
have the time to apply that at some point.
You got Glorpa if you don't want to be turned into something.
So for right
I really
now,
don't.
Tromlin steps back out and has transformed into this other person.
Into Bob
While that's
Dockman.
happening, I assume Copernicus, you're gonna do your fishmongering business.
Yeah, I think I am going to stroll into the area where it looks like they do like maybe more of the. I don't know if it's only whole fish or if they sell like chum or whatever, but I
Yeah.
would like 1 bucket of chum for my bucket of chums, please.
They will happily sell you
Okay,
the chum. It's the
But do they give me the dad joke reaction that I want? That's what I came here to pay for.
I think so.
All right.
I think you will in fact get like a booming laugh out of Justin McElroy.
There we go.
He seems a cheery fellow.
Lovely. Well, I'll take that. I'll take a whole fish too. To for good measure. He gave me the laugh I wanted. And I'm gonna slip some of the chum into my bait pail. Which you hear almost like a hissing sound, and when the lid doesn't come off like topwise, you like twist it, and you hear like a ch. And then Copernicus pours some like fish blood and guts in, and then closes it and brings the rest to fetid.
Making some kombucha in there.
Nice.
Oh, for me? Really?
Oh, for you.
God.
We're taking care of fetid.
Yeah.
I go like completely head down in the bucket of chum, and you just hear
Just take the handle and
hard,
put it on the back of your head like
just
a
awful,
like a
the
horse
worst
feeder.
noises you can imagine.
It's the slurry in a hurry special.
Nice.
Yeah, like-
Nice.
Imagine like a blender having diarrhea, and that's what it sounds like.
What?
Or like drawing away
Yeah,
from your
yeah.
group now. You have a fairly wide space around you.
I mean, like, mercifully, it doesn't take me very long to eat all of that chum. It only takes about, like, 15 seconds, but it's a bad 15 seconds for everybody around me.
I noticed that every time Jeff describes what he's eating in detail, we lose like 2 or 3 viewers.
Good. Excellent.
Good. It's good. I love to punish the audience.
Let's aim for 0 by the end of the stream. It's
They
just
know what they
just
got.
Jeff
they
describing
got into.
disgusting
I
meals
mean,
in detail.
It's called Trash Heroes.
Wait until the fetid sex scene
Oh
later.
God.
I've been waiting for someone to use the hot trash emote.
Is that a beached whale? I'm gonna fuck it.
That smells
It's
real
not using that
bad.
body.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So from here, where to?
Well, I need to go meet Die.
Yeah.
All right. I vote we go with you. We try to do it as stealthily as possible, and we see where that takes us.
Okay. Do you have a hat? I can put on a hat. I'll keep my head down real low.
I will pull my friend aside and I will attempt. Would I need to roll for that?
All right, you're pulling Ugna aside and doing what? I missed
Try to
it.
disguise her. I'm gonna
Oh,
try to get her disguised.
using your disguise kit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you might want to try and find somewhere a little out of the way because that takes time.
I'll go back
Like
into
an
the alley.
alleyway or something.
Yeah.
I go back
you-
into the alley and like wedge it off, but this time with my back, so you can't tell it's me as easily.
It's just a wall
I was the
now.
door before, and now I'm
A
facing the
weirdly
other way.
armored wall.
I was wondering, since Fetid is suggesting a pass without trace, did you want to try and sort of lose any sort of
Yeah, we could just be sneaky to
pursuit
get
or
over there.
viewership, and then when you get somewhere quiet, carry on with your disguising?
Yeah, I think our plan of action should basically be pass without trace to get over there. Once we get there, we all do a nice round of perception checks to see what we see before we meet up with Diomedes, and then we take it from there. Because I think most of us have pretty good perception, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
even
Go check
Okay.
shit out.
too.
So I'll get stealth rolls from everyone,
Ooh.
but everyone is going to add 10 to your roll thanks to the pass without trace spell that Fetid has cast upon you.
28.
At this point, I'm gonna say it's probably not even a spell. It's just like the smell and the sound of me eating has basically made everybody in the vicinity turn around and not look.
Everyone's
in
like
our direction.
pointedly looking the
So
other
we're-
way.
Yeah, we have effectively vanished.
They're aware of us, but they do not want to perceive us.
Yeah, they wish they weren't. Yeah.
The most
they really wish
disgusting
they were.
material components
Good.
Mhm.
one could imagine.
I rolled a 31, so
Woo. Nice.
33 here.
Nice.
yeah.
I've got a 20.
And
38.
30 what?
38.
Holy
Nice.
crap.
Ooh.
So 20 is the low roll.
And what I didn't miss yours.
28.
28. Okay, so 20 is the low roll.
A good spell.
So I will roll some perception. Actually, 20 is the low roll, but Copernicus, you also have the ability to add a magical bonus to your stealth.
I am wondering. I can, but I think it has to be dark around, and I don't think I'm gonna get that in the middle of the day in in a market. That was my
I
concern.
don't think so. I think it just takes whatever shadows are handy.
In shadow or dim lighting gets +10 stealth.
Oh, right. So it needs a dim lighting is the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no.
I figured I wouldn't be able to get much of that here.
Yep.
But if we are passing through a spot where it gets dark, I definitely will activate that.
Oh, you're ducking down some alleys and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll as I increasingly drop the facade of not being magical
Magic.
around my bucket of chums, I will I'll start to, yeah. I guess when we pass through some of the dark areas, you might see some like
The
tentacles of
shadows will
darkness,
stick.
yeah, coalesce around him, and his outline becomes blurrier.
That's weird. I haven't noticed.
I'll say that I'll give you a instead of the full +10, I'll give you a +5 since you're kind of moving in and out of shadow.
Very
So
good.
that'll be a
make it
25
for me.
for
Yeah.
the target for me. So as far as you know, you have not been spotted by anyone as you duck down a little maze through some back alleys and stuff, and you find a nice little out of the way place kind of between the lower tier and the second tier of the town, where you're sort of behind the row of fishermen's stalls and all that sort of stuff. But before you get into the homesteads of the second tier, and so you're in a good position to sort of stick to one spot behind a building where Tromlin can pull out the disguise kit.
All right. And what do I roll to disguise my friend?
So the disguise kit, since you have proficiency, allows you to add proficiency bonus to an ability check, and then I decide what ability is appropriate here. And I think most often for disguise, it's gonna, if you're using it on someone else, it's gonna be dexterity. So I think that's the most appropriate.
So dexterity check.
So dexterity plus proficiency. So you're basically rolling +6.
Okay. 24.
Ooh.
Excellent. So Tromlin pulls out a little satchel that and begins producing from the satchel little like makeup brushes and little pots of pigment and other props and things. You can see there's like various kinds of fake hair in there and other stuff.
Can I have a fake beard? I want a fake beard.
Sure. No one can tell, like, that she shouldn't have one.
Yeah, probably the easiest thing to do on, or first thing to do on Ugna to kind of reduce the fame recognition is a wig.
Yeah, you gotta hide that hair. It's my trademark.
Mm-hmm.
I pull a nice permed wig, fluff it up.
Good.
Nice.
I give you the Bob Ross.
Nice. Nice. With the
Now she
beard to
looks
go
like
with
a
it.
tree.
Like an afro with a beard.
Good.
Mhm.
Just
Oh
the
my
tusks
God,
pointing out of the mustache.
You're
Little
you're
half
literally
broken body.
succotash from Monster Factory. Holy shit. Now I gotta find an image of that for you.
Little happy broken bones. Little happy
Yeah,
broken.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You rearrange some of the outfit, like you put a cloak so it covers the armor, so that the and attach a brooch to it so it's a different fall, a different shape around her shoulders. De-emphasize the sugar tusks and yeah, sort of mask up Ugna. So you look like giant burly Bob Ross orc.
Good.
There. I've posted an image in the chat that I think is a perfect fit for what Ugna looks like right now.
Only not as skinny.
Hmm.
But probably you can't tell because of like the cloak and other
The
artful
disguise is
disguising.
just that good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
it's just a big black cloak, but that's painted on it in the front, so you
Mhm,
just
mhm.
it's a skinny person.
Yep.
It's a classic joke. I'd like a tattoo, a full body tattoo of myself, but thinner, please.
Yuck, yuck.
So that takes a little while. You're probably busy for about 10-15 minutes. Everybody else can make me a perception check. Everyone who's not involved in busy with the disguising.
With the face paint.
Slightly better. 14.
Nat 1 for a 3.
Ooh.
Not a great start to the
Oh.
rolls today.
13.
Nothing particularly catches your attention. I think Fetid will notice at one point, like just past one of the buildings, you'll catch a glimpse of raven folk flying over the town, but they don't appear to be, anywhere near close enough to be watching you. And so once you're done, you've handily disguised up Ugna as a strange
That's Bob Ross.
Bob Rossian
Bob Ross orc.
creature.
Mhm.
And your magical disguise, of course, is still running. You still got at least a good half an hour on that, I would say.
I think it's time we go see Die.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Oh,
We lost Randy. We temporarily lost Randy.
He's so well disguised.
Yeah.
That's, I
Come
was
back
gonna say,
to
that's
us,
a really good
Randy.
disguise.
I will say, while Randy's rejoining us for the chat, for those who are wondering, the results of the poll will be occurring in the near future here before
That
we get
sounds
to break
ominous.
time. And 2 of the options tied, so I'm going to combine them.
Oh, good.
Like that.
Okay.
I'm sure that will be a good thing.
There's quite a race for those 2 options.
Dang.
But in many cases, I would flip a coin, but in this case, I can pretty easily merge them. Okay, so where to? Heading off to
You'll
Penny
talk to
Whistles?
Die?
Yeah. I think
Penny
Penny
Whistles.
Whistles to meet
Yeah.
Die. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Mrs. Penny Whistle's junk shop.
Mhm.
So you head up from the second tier back to the third and upper tier, where the main square is and the small market. And as you head over, you can clearly see Diomedes standing and chatting with Mrs. Pennywhistle. She's got her one giant eye, goggling upwards at him because he towers over her. He has two of his soldiers with him. You imagine he's probably a little paranoid after Otto's death. So he has one Leonid and one Tortle standing on either side of them with their halberds.
And
as I
two of us
approach
don't look anything like what he has seen
Yep.
before.
Well,
Right.
It's fine.
as I approach, I will just drop my disguise, my tattoo disguise, so at least on my face.
Yep.
So it's obvious. Hey, you have met.
You can even like have the hood of your cloak up and just like show the
Yeah.
face.
Good morrow, friend.
My friends, I received your message.
Can I try and see if we're being watched at all? Like,
Yep, this is a good time. It
Actually,
was
I think-
discussed before. Perception checks all around.
All right.
Yeah.
I trust Pennywhistle not to fuck us over. Like, so I don't care if she hears what I'm about to say, but I don't want like someone who will actually have a problem.
It's 12 from me.
19 here.
24?
Nice.
Oh, 17. Okay.
So a 24 and a 19 are the high rolls here.
Mhm.
Okay. You notice nothing very specific to you, but you do notice the guards at the gates of the keep, which is the other side of the square. You notice that they are first of all that there's a two-man patrol kind of walking around town, which you didn't see before. But secondly, that they all seem to be very intently looking around. It's not the usual thing where they're just standing there looking bored, but are kind of like watching people as they pass and kind of like they're on the lookout for something.
All right.
You'll also notice Glorpa, at least with the 24. You will also notice the inn, which also fronts onto the square, the big inn. You will notice a halfling at the window of the inn, kind of idly cleaning some glassware, but clearly watching the square and watching out the window of
Is
the inn.
it the halfling that was meeting with the others?
Glorpa doesn't know that halfling.
Glorpa doesn't care.
If
See, it's
Glorpa
fine.
if Glorpa draws your attention to the halfling, then I'll let you know.
I feel really bad, but to be honest, she'd be very interested in the glassware he's cleaning. That's probably it.
That makes sense.
Sorry.
Don't feel bad. No, don't feel bad. That's what your character would do. That makes total sense.
Who had the who had the 19? I forget.
Me.
So you notice the guards, the increased guard presence. I mean, it's very appropriate because Fetid is very cognizant of that sort of thing.
Hate the cops so
The
much.
guards are
AGAB, man.
I am a little bit concerned about Pennywhistle. Like I feel like there's no reason she wouldn't sell our secrets to someone else. So I might try and distract her by like going into the shop and doing a little Fantasia with some like cantrip magic. Have some pots and pans dance around. Put on a little like Grandpa's Pennywhistle show.
I mean, she won't be super phased by it, but she'll be certainly. You can easily engage with her. Like if you're like asking questions about what's this piece of. In fact, you very quickly discover a kindred spirit.
Okay. Well,
in that
my approach was not that subtle, and he's definitely trying to do a little show of dancing pots and pans. And the point is not to impress her with magic. I'm aware that she could not care about low-level cantrip stuff. The goal is to just put on a good, like, almost like an old vaudeville kind of performance using junk shop props, just to distract while Diomedes and Tromblin have their
For sure. And you will quickly discover a kindred spirit in that. She will immediately begin telling you the entire history of each of the props you've chosen.
Oh, brilliant!
Like this is her junk shop, And
Okay.
she's going to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're interested in that one, are you, dearie? Well, I found that in an old little curio shop back in Karsh where and
Antiques
and then
Row
the
show up in this piece.
yeah
I think the feedback cycle of the two of us telling each other stories
God.
could become very dangerous.
yep someone's gonna have to break that.
Yeah.
It's like a it's like a dangerous nuclear reaction now
Yeah.
that'll have to be shut down.
So I think we
Um,
can burn on in the
Polymorph
background
point of
while
view.
the main scene plays out.
So that is in fact occurring, and you easily keep Penny Whistle out of this conversation. So Diomedes is curious to know what is it that you so urgently needed to speak to me.
I can't tell you how I know this. Your caravan will be targeted. Careful. The bandits are.
Or you
I
cut out
cannot-
there, Andy.
Oh, I will lean forward and say, I cannot explain why I know this. Just understand that I have my reasons. But your caravan is being watched, and you are likely to target. Road.
This is grave news indeed. Perhaps I will consider hiring additional mercenaries locally.
Or, well, even then, no telling if you'll get someone who's really honest with you. You might hire someone who's has spent allegiance.
Hmm.
I just want you to know, because I have my own allegiances, but I also have my own honor, and I just can't let you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for letting me know. There are things that I can do. Perhaps we will stay in town for a day longer. If I send word to Karsh, my father can send a ship of additional mercenaries here within that time.
Very well. Like I said, I just felt I had to. There's a risk to me telling you, but I just couldn't let you go. I just couldn't risk any of you getting hurt.
He reaches out his massive hands and grabs yours and shakes it, and says, I will honor this trust. I will tell no one where I have learned of these things, but I will take precautions. Thank you,
Very
my
good.
friend. If there's ever
And,
anything that you need,
Right now, I need to lay low because I found out I have my own issues. But so we will not be returning to the inn. I don't want to bring any misfortune upon you.
would it be useful to you, my friend, if we took possession of the rooms that you have booked and make it appear as though you had returned to the inn this night?
Ooh.
That would be wonderful. I appreciate.
I will make it so. My men and I will, and he will purchase a few like oddments from the junk shop, stuff like blankets that they can like, dress up and fold to look like sleeping bodies.
I will say a quick blessing of fortune on him, and I'll say, well, we have things we need to go.
So keep in mind that you are currently
Oh, is it a Lulth day?
yeah, it's a Lulth
Right.
day, so
Yeah.
you're gonna
Right.
pull out the
I will ask. I will say, look, my patron god changes day to day. I can give you a blessing of fortune. Do not know you will be particularly excited about who I have to serve today, though.
by all means.
Okay.
Just throw a handful of
I will
spiders
do
at
my
him.
best to bestow
Congratulations.
long-legged blessings upon him and his people.
He actually seems completely unfazed. And you suspect that there may be a different relationship to Lulth in the south than the general kind of association with Underdark creepiness in the north.
I say a prayer over him and ask Loth to guide him through the safe strands of the web and ensnare those who would feast upon him.
You'll sort of do a kind of a bow that you recognize. I won't make you make a religious roll or anything like that, but or a religion roll. But you would recognize that is something related to worship of the southern gods, as he inclines his head and accepts your blessing.
All right.
Good
Hood
luck to
back
you as
up,
well, my friend.
and away we go. We have other things to do.
May Gar protect you.
Thank you. Well, we need all the help we can get.
And yeah, he'll nod to his guards and they'll head back to the inn.
Right.
Meanwhile, you'll turn and discover this like crazy chain reaction of old people talking
Glorpa
occurring.
started putting like junk into her pockets. By the way, her dress has pockets. Obviously, she doesn't really understand these are for sale. So
Do I notice that?
Let's see. Let's find out. How surreptitious is Glorpa being? Probably not very.
not intentionally. No,
Yeah, you're probably like picking things up and going, "Oh, this is neat." Put it in your pocket.
she's getting the small stuff though.
So make a perception roll, but like your target is like a 12.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Grandpa
got a
Pernie is
21.
running a distraction that might also be working on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I've got a talking coffee pot. Who's doing a commercial for itself. I was like, "Hey, tired? You should try some coffee."
It was
I
clearly
rolled a
trying to like
21.
keep
Penny
an eye
Whistle
out
is like
for danger, but is like
regaling you on the
distracted by
origins of
this.
this coffee pot. Yeah, I would say that everyone's pretty distracted by that, but Cromlin, since you were kind of on alert here, go ahead and make a perception roll. I'll maybe
I
make
got
it a
a
4.
babysitting duty.
What was
I
the
got
total?
21.
21. Yeah, you
21.
notice Glorpa sort of like picking things that look particularly shiny and just kind of taking them.
I walk up to Glorpa and like, I know that you're from the swamp and there are certain things you have missed out on, but you can't just take those.
This is exactly what the priest said at my wedding.
In the society, people have things and they trade them for value. I pull out one of the coins. They usually trade them for these.
Would they trade them for this? And I hold out just like a bunch of rocks, but they're pretty and they're sparkly and they're falling through my fingers.
Can I try to figure out if there's any value to these rocks?
Yeah, actually, this is kind of your wheelhouse. You can
Yeah,
do sort of just make me an int
do.
roll.
A what? Int?
Just an int roll.
Oh fuck, yeah. 24.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
I got my
Big
max.
good rocks.
So they're mostly like the standard kind of quartzes and mineral pyrites and things that people go, ooh, pretty shiny rock, that aren't valuable. But there's one single member of a pair of like sapphire chip earring in there. Like someone lost an earring and Glorpa went, ooh, a shiny rock, and just
Yeah.
picked it up.
Yeah.
And then there's also a piece of unworked silver, like just a chunk of silver, like what you get after you smelt, and you just get the hunk, but you haven't actually melted it down into ingots.
Puts them on the table the way that she's seen other people slam coins down.
Yeah.
All right, I think. Hold on. I pull the rocks aside and say, "Well, these are gorgeous, and you can do things with them, like make jewelry, and some people will take them. These two things have more value to most of society. I know it seems weird and bizarre.
Oh, trading them for this broken piece of pottery.
I will pull over Penny Whistle and like, my friend who is new to society is very attracted to your broken piece of jewelry.
Before you do that, so first of all, on the appraisal roll you made, which is so great, the stuff that Glorpa has taken, the chunk of silver, 100% will cover, no problem. The sapphire chip would buy like a quarter of the stock.
I'll say, keep the
So
sapphire
you might
chip.
want to just take that aside.
Okay.
Glorpa, would you like me to hold on to this for you?
No.
And then you
Pretty.
keep it, protect it. It has a lot of value to a lot of people.
I know, to me too.
but don't lose it.
I'd say
Some
the
people,
sapphire chip's probably worth 100 gold in a kind
Ooh,
of standard D&D
Writing
terms.
that down in my banknotes.
nice.
I will turn the chunk of silver over to Miss Pennywessel, explain the situation, apologize profusely for the almost stealing from her, explain why, and just here you go.
I love how you said that she's new to society, like she's a debutante, and like everyone's been waiting to see, like, oh.
I mean, they
And
have.
then it's just a swamp hag.
I mean, in some
Finally, she's
circles,
out.
she is the witch of the swamp. I mean,
I mean, Pennywhistle is very unfazed, as Pennywhistle is kind of like a crazy hag creature herself.
Yeah, I like her.
So that doesn't this doesn't hold water though. Pennywhistle won't let any of the pieces go without turning the full force of the history machine
Uh-oh.
your way. So basically, when you basically sort of go, yeah, I will give you this piece of silver for this stuff that Glorpa was, she will insist, of course, on giving you the whole story for each of the pieces of junk that you're trying to take.
have fun, Glorpa.
So
Okay.
she'll turn from having been having been started up by Copernicus, she'll continue until she winds
You
down.
got her all
Don't
riled
we
up
have
now.
someplace to go? Wait, were we going somewhere? I actually don't know where we were going.
Well, while she's
You live
going
here
through all
now.
this with you, I might pull Tromlin aside quickly and say, I don't know how much you trust Pennywhistle, but do you think that she would know anything about the weapon used in the attack if we showed it to her? And do you think she could be careful with that information?
I know that she's on my side to a point. Everyone has a price. It's just a question of how long it will take for her to hold out. I honestly though, considering that she needs us to do what we're doing as much as everything else, I think that I could be wrong. And if we're wrong, I'll own that.
I think it would be good to have some kind of expert take a look at it. And I'm just not sure which expert that should be. Or perhaps if we approach them in a different guise, it might be easier to disguise our connection to a murder weapon.
I turn up. I apologize for interrupting, Madam Pennywhistle. And I'll say in Thieves' Cant, do you know of anyone who can help us identify a magic item? Not the spell.
That'll actually kind of break her out of the tale that she is in the process of telling about a particular piece of chipped pottery. And just hearing the Thieves' Cant, and she'll sort of like her one big good eye like swivels back and forth like Mad Eye Moody as she like looks around trying to make sure she's alone, other than you guys. And she'll sort of like comically exaggerated whisper and lean in, even though she's speaking in Thieves' Cant. Which to the rest of you just sounds like a bunch of weird, disjointed syllables that don't
Why do they
mean
call it
anything.
thieves can't if only thieves can speak it?
Oh,
The
Grandpa.
eternal question. See, this is the
think
real reason for Peter's
Yeah.
character concept is to cover up his own bad jokes. So he can
Gotta
blame
have
them on the
them
old man
granddad
character.
jokes.
The more generations of dad you are, the worse your jokes are allowed to be. That's how it works. I have a graph.
It's exponential.
So she will respond and say, there was a wizard in town some weeks ago, but none that dwell here ongoing. I can send word away to Ravenfall or Mudhollow to try and have the guild send someone.
Mud Hollow might be safer for what's going on. I just don't want to bring any more Raven anything into this than we have to right now.
Stormhill being basically halfway between Ravenfall and Mudhollow.
If you could, let me know what the price is.
I'll send word today.
Thank you kindly. I turn back. Now, Glorpa, I believe you were being enthralled by this woman's magnificent tails, and I just back up.
So at that point, you can pretty much extricate yourselves at that point if you wish.
Okay.
You
Yep.
purchased some various trinkets, Glorpa.
I purchased a
And-
thing. My first
yeah.
time.
You did a commerce.
Way to be a capitalist dog. Good job.
That was dog.
This is, you got to integrate into society. This is the first step. You've
So
been living off
we're-
grid.
You did one capitalism.
So as we're heading back outside, but before we're like out in the crowds again, Ugna leans in and like in a stage whisper goes, "Okay, so people are trying to kill you, Tromlin, your family. Somebody killed Otto, but he was like a Raven cult guy, and we still got to talk to Scarfang at some point.
Yep.
What do we do next? Because we can't go back to the inn."
It's a phenomenal question. I'm all for. Well, I guess let's just go ahead and go find that Scarfang person right now and get this over with.
You have two major leads remaining in that vein. One is you still haven't actually talked to the orc smuggler.
Hardshank.
Yeah, you overheard him potentially collecting and maybe selling information about Diomedes, but you didn't actually speak with him about whether he knows how to contact or Scarfang. You also have the Quaggles in the North Ravine that you can go and talk to,
I honestly
who might
trust them
have some
more.
information.
Yeah, I like talking to them. I also want to know
Well-
in particular about the stolen documents. Like if there are any, if there's anyone who knows about stolen documents, that'd be good. I mean, sorry, all of this in character. Imagine I said it in an old man voice.
Theoretically, well, you would assume that the reason that they might know anything about the documents would be the servant.
Mm.
But I just remembered actually the reason you know documents were stolen is because that's what the dead spirit of Otto suspected. So you're not actually sure if the town guardsmen or the investigators know anything about what might be missing.
Mhm.
Probably the way to go there would be to talk to Otto's servant. I'm just trying to remind myself who else. You were talking about who you trust on this. Keep in mind that Tromlin's contacts were used to find the various Thieves Guild people to talk to. Contacts just means you have people you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are people that are your close friends. They're just people you can go to. So, yeah, you don't necessarily trust Hardshank. He's just a smuggler that you know of who you've met before that you could go and talk to.
Oh, I 100%
Golly.
don't trust him at all.
And I'm trying to remember the third because I gave you 3 members of the Thieves Guild in town. It was Pennywhistle and Hardshank. I may have to check my notes for who the third one was.
Was it Shaylin Tark? Shaylin Tark?
No, Shaylin Tark is the leader of the rival group in the gang.
Oh,
They're
right.
the bandits. Oh, I remember. It was It was a name that you got from Mrs. Pennywhistle. She mentioned that Garrick Two-Nose, a human soldier up in the garrison here, is like on the take and is someone that has contact with the bandits.
I don't feel I can safely go to the garrison.
That seems reasonable.
That seems like I end up in a cell if I'm.
So you got several avenues here. You've got the you could go seek out the Quaggles and see what they can tell you. You could wait for information to come back through Pennywhistle because she's now sent word around for you for a couple things. You could seek out Rollin Hardshank, or you could potentially go try and find out more about what's missing from Otto's place.
I think
Right.
the Otto's place because I don't personally trust Scarface.
Yeah, and I think the
Scarface.
servant would actually talk to us.
Mm.
Seems likely.
Yeah.
Your whole reason for talking to Hart, the reason Otto was originally going to set you up with a meeting with Scarfang is entirely just because that's the original leader of the gang before this schism started.
Yeah.
And one of your potential plans, I believe you were saying, was you just backing them against and stopping the incursion or whatever from the other group.
Well, I guess I do need to talk to him then because that's the whole point of us being here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also know that they operate out in the hills, so we could like blindly run out that way and be like, "Hey, bandits, come and steal from us." Also, we need to talk to you.
It would also get us away from the town
It's true.
where I am being hunted.
We should probably sleep
And
outside the town tonight anyway.
you don't have to like blindly go running off either, because you have multiple potential ways to get information about where the bandits might be. You certainly know that Rollin Hardshank seems to have contact with them.
I'll be right back. My dog is making very sad noises.
Oh,
No,
That is an emergency.
that is an emergency. Sad dog emergency, everyone. Hold up. But I'll just finish saying, because it's pretty straightforward, that so you have basically, I think I would say there are three main avenues where you could potentially find out where the bandits are. One would be following or talking to or whatever from Rollin Hardshank. You also know that this Garrett Two-Nose guy is an informant for them, so he's got to have a way to contact them. And the third might be just talking to the Quaggles, who clearly live in the area and would have some knowledge of the surrounding hills.
I trust the Quaggles more than anybody else, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I've already given them
Fair.
food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
True.
I think
They
I
trust
think if we
you.
meet the Quaggles, and if it'd be good to hit up the servant before we leave the city, just in case we're not back for a bit, and then maybe head out of town after that.
Yeah, we'll go camp
And
outside tonight.
if it helps, I can like invisibility into the, because I'm pretty sure the servant's house is being watched because it's Otto's house and it's a crime scene. But I might be able to like invisibility in and have a chat with him, and like have him meet us somewhere, like he's pretending to go for a walk. Have us meet us somewhere quiet, if we're worried about attracting attention.
Hmm.
A thought.
That seems like a good plan. I like this plan.
It is a good plan. So we will have to send our Quaggle to find the other Quaggles, I assume.
Coagulate the Quaggles a
Yep.
little bit.
Oh, you were there when Ratty and
Quaggle
Badger said to Fetid, basically, just if you want to speak to us, come to the North Ravine. So
I guess we'll just go to the North
Start
Ravine
heading that way.
Yeah.
and get
So
this
do you
out
want
of
to do
town.
that first, or do you want to try and sneak in and talk to Tromlin's servant or
Well, let's do the servant
Otto's
first
servant.
because Jeff is out for a minute.
Yeah. Our
Jeff
Yeah,
is
let's go ahead and
Quaggle.
wing
dealing
by
with
there
sad dog
and-
emergency.
You want to just send Pernie in there?
I can bring him out to us. Is what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
like, come meet us
So
over
that we don't
here.
have our entire party show up to the crime scene.
We can hang out somewhere nearby that is not
Try and
visible.
look.
ish.
Just try and
And
fly casual.
Yeah. I've been
Yeah, we're
assuming.
really good at that.
Yeah.
I've been assuming that the servant is staying at the house and probably doesn't have like a house of his own. But he also might have
Oh,
family
yeah.
that he'd stay with if it is an active crime scene. So do we know, like at the end of the night, if we saw like the officers telling him like, "Do you have somewhere to go?" or like if he was allowed to stay at the house? Do we remember that?
Good question.
Servant had his own room, so I would say that at the end of the night when you left, the soldiers were they left a soldier on guard, or a pair of them probably, in the house, but the servant just went back up to his room basically.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then I think what I'm gonna do is as we approach, I'll turn on invisibility, and I can give someone I can cast it on 2 people at once, and it takes no extra casting because I'm casting it at higher than 2nd level. So if anyone else wants to be invisible while we wait, let me know. You can get a free dose of invisibility. I'm
Honestly,
giving
I
it
don't
out
limit.
like it's AstraZeneca. A little topical humor for you, and for those watching in the future, this was a thing that happened during the pandemic.
It was certainly a time.
Mhm.
For, right, so 2 extra creatures.
Oh, up to 2 extra.
You can cast it on yourself, and because you're casting it as a 4th level spell, you can cast it on up to 2 additional people.
Oh,
Do you
okay,
think
yeah.
the plants would still be in the house?
Do you wanna
Probably.
come
A
see your
little-
plant friend?
I do.
All right. Well, then that's one for you. Anyone else for a free invisibility trip?
Anybody else want to go with Copernicus invisibly into the house?
I'll do it, sure.
All right.
It should
Let's
probably be
do
someone
this.
who's stealth.
Yeah, I'm
bada
up
bing,
for
bada
bang,
something.
bada boom.
That's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah. So Grandpa, I think the way that Pernie is going to explain this is that so I'm going to sneak in and I will I'm going to do one of my pranks where you can't see me anymore. And with this prank, I can make it so that no one sees you either. So here we go. Hup. And then
Oh.
I haven't actually decided how we're gonna get in the house. So
That's
that's
a
the
good
next
trick.
sort of barrier. We could just open the door and sneak in, or we could try there's a back door maybe, go for a window. What are our means of ingress here?
So Copernicus, Glorpa, and Fetid all disappear. And you can no longer be seen. You also can't see each other.
Oh. I believe I
Um,
have spider climb. I could go right up the wall if there's an open
Oh, you
window
could.
somewhere. Oh, it's my cantrip. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you know that the chimney is an access point because
It is.
that was how the monkey got in before.
Oh,
You know that
right.
Fetid can fit down the chimney. Glorpa also, of course, knows that she can turn into things that can fit down the chimney quite easily, such as a monkey.
True.
Otherwise, there's a front door and a back door, and that's it. So
I
I'm
think
not sure for Copernicus where the option would be.
I think Grandpa's gonna say that he's going to Grandpa's going to take the back door because Grandpa doesn't want to climb all that nonsense. And Grandpa's taken the back door before, if
Oh,
you know what Grandpa means.
unfortunately, we do.
A few times
I
you
could
didn't have
also
kids.
try to open a lock if I have to.
Ah,
I'm gonna take pretty loud steps and try and make it kind of clearish where I am, for the sake of all involved, and I'm gonna trot off toward the back door and see if it opens. I'm gonna do
Okay.
a check around before I do, just to see if anyone's like actively watching.
So you invisibly head off and go around the building.
Yeah, I'll probably like kind of
Glorpa
hum
and
to myself
Fetid.
quietly.
I assume Glorpa and Fetid are going to climb up to the roof.
yeah.
That's
Glorpa morphs into an octopus, a small one, because she wants to have as many feelers as possible. And Jimmy's down the
Just
chimney.
I'm glad we can't see that.
For more plant
know.
groping.
Mhm.
God, octopus
Uh,
plant.
Honestly,
OTP.
though, you're climbing down the chimney together. The chimney is cold. The fire's not lit, so you can
That's
tell
good.
before you attempt to climb down. So, Fetid, as you're like climbing down the chimney, you will occasionally bump into something you can't see that is slimy and cold.
Oh,
And
Glorpa.
Glorpa, as you're climbing down the chimney as an octopus, you will occasionally bump into something that is slimy and warm.
Oh, it's
Yes.
not me. I thought it was just
No,
me.
it's Fetid.
Oh, I didn't think he was slimy.
I mean,
just kind of
depends on the
I
day.
did just
Generally.
eat a whole bunch of chum. So,
It's kind
True, I
of
did
covered
watch
in
you
fish
eat.
guts right now.
yeah, and I'm sweating fish oil at this point.
Oh God.
You did a salmon that was like the third the size of you.
This is probably the most full your character has ever been in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's amazing that I'm still conscious. Like, normally a kobold would hibernate for a good week to digest this, but I'm still up and around.
You're not in a chum coma quite yet. and
Part of
No.
the iron stomach.
A choma?
I'm a little chum drunk, but that's different.
Good, yeah.
You chum dumpster.
So when you get to the back door, you find that it is in fact locked, and you're sort of trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to get in here? But as you sort of surreptitiously trying the door, Glorpa and Fetid will come down out of the chimney into the big open room, the big open concept main floor, and will hear you at the door and can easily just come over and open it
There you go.
Okay.
from the
Thank you
inside.
kindly. Can I quickly perception around before that happens? just to make sure that no one's like watching the back door open itself.
Yep. But yeah, you don't need to roll. There's nothing going on really.
Okay.
The place is pretty
suspense would have
quiet.
killed me. I rolled another natural one, and
And you have no idea anyway.
all right. Then yeah, let's tiptoe in, and I guess one of us is gonna have to drop the disguise, to get to talk to him.
Oh.
So
I
or drop the
believe
Three of
invisibility.
us.
I believe you can speak while invisible without dropping it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how well he's gonna take that after having already witnessed a murder.
Probably not
recently.
great,
Yeah.
but you can do
So-
it.
Maybe I'll
You can do a lot of shit. Doesn't mean you should.
That's just the tagline for D&D.
Yeah.
I'm imagining this ships are walking in the room and a teddy bear floats and, ooh, I need to ask you about a murder. Pee.
Okay, I'm gonna
Pee.
take what was a really excellent suggestion from the chat for when Pernie doesn't want to drop invisibility, but he wants to kind of be in the scene. I'm gonna take some of my chum blood from the fish and just draw a smiley face in the air where my face is. I'll make sure to cover the lips so that it splits when I talk.
That's even
Well, that's
creepier.
not upsetting at all.
Hopefully this should help give him something to focus on. So
Great.
that he's
How
not
is
distracted.
better?
The floating fish blood face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Here we go.
I'm gonna use the restroom.
Okay, so there's nothing on the
Randy
first
can't
floor.
watch this.
Randy's
That was- yeah.
He's leaving.
I don't blame
left
him.
the chat too.
So, okay, so the first floor, there's nothing going on here. You go up the stairs.
Probably also a
Yeah.
little bit of black ash now mixed in with the chum
Yep.
blood. So
Yep.
it's not just clear. It's not clearly just
It
blood.
actually makes it it makes it easier to actually make a face. You've kind of basically mixed a paste of ashes and fish guts.
Kind of got like a
and then you
Marilyn
can
Manson
make, so
thing
there's
going
basically
now.
Good.
2 black eyes that you've put on your forehead and a mouth.
Why so serious?
Want
And
to
on the
know how I
second
got this
landing-
fish chum on my face? A famous line.
Uh-huh.
And so you get up to the second floor landing, and you can see the door to the servants' room is open.
Yeah.
The door to the study is open as well. And that's it. There's no guards around at this point. Actually, no. We'll say there's still one guard who's sitting in a chair by the door at the end of the hall that had been broken into, the one where the money and the records were. And he's sitting on a chair, kind of like bored, guarding that door.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can, the door to the servants' quarters is open, so you wander down there,
Okay.
and inside you can see there's a desk that the servant is sitting at, and he's busily writing something with a quill pen.
Oh.
And your black fish guts, mud face, happy face
Okay,
floats
before
into the room.
I don't know if it's too late, but before Pernie apparates like this, I would like to go in first and perhaps prepare to clap my hand over the servant's mouth so that when Pernie does show up, there will not be perhaps a shout of horror.
Bernie's like tiptoeing. Not that you can see him do this, but he's tiptoeing in a really comical, obvious tiptoe way, and he's not moving fast, so it's very easy to get ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, none of us can see each other, and I think we're constantly stepping on like a tentacle or a tail or a foot.
I mean, I'm pretty small.
Glorpa's basically bringing up the rear because she's moving at octopus speed up the. So yeah, so it's very easy for Fetid to kind of dart ahead and basically climb up on the desk and be like this, waiting to grab this guy invisibly if the need arises.
When you need a light touch on a task, hire the trash heroes.
We're good at this.
Subtlety is our middle
great.
name.
Absolutely.
All right, so the floating face enters the room. He doesn't notice at first. He's writing, and you don't make any noise.
Gently close the door as if it's just a draft.
I rolled an 8 on perception. He's too engrossed in what he's writing, so the door basically gets closed.
Yeah.
He's
and I'll
too busy
get
with
in
his fan fiction erotica he's working
Yeah.
on.
Nice.
Mhm.
So Glorpa is actually not in the room yet. I just rolled to see if how
Oh
that works.
no.
So you closed the door, and
Oh,
Glorpa's an
no.
invisible octopus out in the
Okay.
hallway.
The plant isn't
Just
in this room anyway. She's got business
Yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
Sniffing it out.
Are you
You're
going
a
for the
puppet
plant?
burn, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm following my nose because I know
Oh yeah.
what
You're
a
an
hot
octopus. You
plant
can
smells
go
like.
under the door into the bedchamber where the plant
Yeah.
is. So
I'm
you
there.
go blurp.
That's where I am. See you guys.
Okay.
Okay. So does he have any extra quills or extra paper that's out that he's not using?
Yep, all
Okay.
on the desk.
I'm gonna try and and I know it's gonna be a floating pen to him. I'm aware of that, and maybe he'll never notice the floating face at this point. But I will see if I can gently lift one up quietly and write, "Do not be alarmed, but please be quiet."
Let's see. Are you trying to do that without him noticing you writing the note initially?
Yeah, I want to get as much of the message down as I can before he freaks out, basically.
Roll me a stealth,
All right.
and we will see how this goes.
Nothing about the situation is alarming at all.
Nope.
I'm gonna use some inspiration.
Oh, that reminds me. So go
Oh,
ahead and
no.
use your last inspiration. No, go ahead and use your inspiration. I totally forgot to mention this at the top of the session. For those in the chat and for those watching on YouTube later, so you know for next time, I've decided as a means of giving you more stuff that you can do. Those of you who are familiar with Twitch will know that you can actually cheer for the players. Using bits and channel points and stuff like that that you acquire over time on Twitch. If you cheer, we're going to try. We don't have a counter set up yet, do we, Alina?
I'm gonna see if I can throw something in right now.
Maybe we'll bring it up after
Yeah.
the break, so we won't worry about it till after the break. But going forward, what we're going to do is we're going to count the bits that accumulate in the channel. And whenever we hit a certain threshold, I'm going to give all of the players an inspiration. But also when we hit certain thresholds, probably a higher threshold, I'm going to basically take a drama point, like a black token for myself, to have something dramatically appropriate happen to the game. And in this way, you can drive extra drama, both in the form of bonuses for the players and potential problems for the players.
What I like is how we make really responsible decisions, so there's never a point in the story where things could go wrong.
Constantly.
Yes.
Precisely. So just putting that out there so that everybody knows. Don't worry about it right now unless you want to test it out or something. But we're going to try and get the bit counter set up over the break.
Mhm.
I think I have inspiration still.
You have one, so you
I
can
have one?
spend it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Alina
use
just
one.
marked it off.
Use
But it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably people shouldn't be cheering if I'm trying to be quiet. So this will be a good one for Grandpa to do on his own. Oh, I already rolled it before, which is good because I just rolled another natural one. I rolled. Oh no, I used the inspiration. Right. So the first one I rolled, and I rolled. So the first one I rolled was a 9. The second one I rolled is a natural 1 plus 3 to make 4. So 9 is the better of the two rolls, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Is that with your bonus?
That's with
Okay.
my BOB.
All right, so you go and you grab one of the big quill pens and lift it up and dip it in the ink to write, and he immediately like leaps back from the desk and
I immediately
goes
clamp
to
my hand
shout.
over his mouth. I'm hanging off of his back like.
Yeah.
I
add
will
some
consider you
trauma.
to have. I consider you to have initiative because you were prepared for
Surprise
this.
round.
So you basically did the surprise action. Make a hit roll, but his AC is not great.
Yeah.
So this is basically a grapple.
Oh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 2.
I don't need any black tokens. Okay, so you launch yourself at him to clamp your hand over his mouth as he jumps. Although, actually, how badly do you want this to happen? Because you have 3 inspirations. You could use one of those.
I think I'm gonna spend one just to maybe not be a 2. Oh,
I just want to see instead of him standing up and as like Fetid goes to clamp his mouth and instead ends up gently caressing his thigh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nat 20, so he's dead now.
Nice.
I
Alina,
killed
what's
him.
up with
Yeah.
the ghostly
Snap his neck.
mug that's floating around
That's
on the screen?
apparently a bit counter. We'll see if it works. It'll have numbers in it or something. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how that works.
We got a ghost mug.
Well, if that's already running, then I guess if anybody wants to try and cheer on the players so that they get more inspirations, feel free.
How
Alina,
does
can
that
you
work?
mark
I have
off
no
one of
idea if it's
Jeff's?
gonna work. I
Thank
already
you.
did. Already did.
We'll see if it works. If not, we'll try to manually count and get caught up.
Ghost mug.
How does
The
one actually cheer?
ghost
I have no
mug.
idea.
Oh.
So a nat 20, you
Yep.
leap and like clamp your hand over his mouth as he's inhaling to shout. So he doesn't even get like a strangled gasp out. He basically goes, and it's over his mouth. And so so he's got like this stench of dead fish in his face,
Yep.
Oh.
and he basically like he catches a knee on something and goes over backwards with you on his head. So he falls to the floor. You bear him to the floor and have basically got your body clamped around his face with your hand over his mouth. And he starts kind of thrashing.
I'm gonna whisper to him. It's very natural for you to be completely flipping the fuck out right now, but please stop flipping the fuck out right now. I tighten my grip slightly. If you want the stench to go away, you'll stop struggling.
I would like you to make a contested grapple here now. So please
God.
roll me your strength athletics. And I will roll his, although he's not very good at this.
Oh wow!
Let us hope.
Amazing. 16. That's pretty
That
good.
is
Actually.
that is an awful lot better.
Oh wait,
than I
no,
rolled.
you said athletics, not acrobatics.
Yeah.
11.
That's still a lot better when I rolled.
Okay.
My dice rolls a 3, and I was trying to decide if he has even got proficiency in athletics, but even if he does, I think I haven't beaten a 10 even.
I learned this move by wrestling rats in the sewers.
Yep. This is just a really big rat. People are just really big rats.
You
True.
know, I hate to be the one to say that in professional wrestling, Rat has a very different.
It's true.
Oh,
Basically, it's
true.
the people who are the groupies who come to
Yep.
fuck wrestling.
Oh.
So I'm now imagining Fetid like wrestling some 40-year-old
What do they call them?
man to the ground.
Isn't it like ring rats or something like that?
Ring rats? Yes.
Ring rats, yeah.
Yep.
That's definitely what we call them in this game.
Mhm. Only in this
Yeah,
game, you're literal
Udna's got a
rats.
few ring
I
rats.
got a few
We're
ring
just
rats.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
They like them big.
Phew.
Except it's different because it's like half of the matches are actual like gladiator fights. So it's like a cross between professional wrestling and a Gallagher concert.
Mhm.
There's an actual splash zone.
Nobody dies,
God.
mostly. It's fine.
Except instead of watermelons, it's heads.
Yep.
Sometimes pelvises.
Yeah.
I mean, sledgehammer. It's what you do. Okay, so he tries to break free of this grapple and fails miserably, and you've basically got him held down. What would you like to do now, Copernicus? So as he's like leaning here, he's got this like invisible kobold grappling his face. Actually, no, sorry, you're no longer invisible because this counts as an attack.
Oh, right.
Oh.
So that
Right.
breaks
Right.
invisibility
That's
unless you have the
Even
improved
better.
invisibility,
I'm
which is
actually
a
gonna
higher level
let
spell.
Fetid's doing a good job. I'm not gonna say anything or aggravate things further. I'm gonna let Fetid handle this.
So there's just a
Mhm.
black happy face hovering in the air, looming over him as he's being wrestled by a kobold on
Yeah.
the ground.
I'm going
Oh,
to
yeah.
pass this back to you. I'm going to say now, my friend, Mr. Floating Happy Fish Blood Smiley Face, has some questions for you.
Oh please,
Good.
Remember,
Mr. Floating
don't
Fish
be
Blood Smiley
alarmed.
Face is my father. Call me Fishblood. There's no need to be
Goody,
alarmed.
goody.
We are, and I'm not making an effort to disguise my voice. So if he remembers it from the night before, that might calm him down. It might freak him out more. I don't know what he thought of
Either
me.
way.
I can't choose how people feel about me. I can only choose how I feel about myself.
Mhm.
Hey,
So
Alina, is that bit counter working?
It is on my
I believe
screen.
it-
I can
I
see
saw
little
coins
coins.
popping.
Yeah, they're just really hard to
Good,
see
because
because it's ghostly.
I just saw some bits go into it. So
I don't know that I
And
can make
excellent.
We
it
just lost them all.
brighter.
Call me fish blood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it was
Only fish
Seabass the
blood.
Mighty.
fish blood.
Seabass the Mighty who cheered for us. So thank you.
Yay.
We will not turn you into chum. I promise.
Hooray! I was gonna say thanks, but I don't know if I should use the real name of that person,
Just
Probably
just
not.
wink at the
a
camera.
fan that we know.
Mhm.
We know who you are.
Okay, so so what questions are you asking
by
this
fan, you mean an old friend of mine.
terrified man?
Oh,
What?
I think that so far it is proven that things go better when Tromlin does the talking. So I think I'm just going to try and convince him to go for a walk outside the house so that
Ah.
Tromlin can talk to him.
That's not
Are you
alarming.
going to use the name?
No, so I'm not going to say anything yet. So what I'm going to say is, we mean you no harm. We're actually here to help and to try to find out who murdered your master. Because we think that their evil designs are not yet complete and that there may be more harm to follow if we cannot chase these dastardly people down. So I would like to ask that you quietly excuse yourself from the premises to go for a walk outside, and we will meet you where we can discuss in a more private area, because we are beginning to learn that perhaps the town guard is not to be trusted with certain delicate details of this matter. If you'd please. We will let you go now, and all we ask is that you do not make a noise, and we will immediately get out of your hair. And then back into it when we meet again outside.
Yes.
I would like you to roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's
Fair.
fair.
That was a great pitch. I don't know
Please,
where this
please
disadvantage
leave
comes
the
from.
building with the protection of the guards. We can't trust them. We want to talk to you in private,
Mhm.
away from the guards.
We're not
Second
gonna
roll
murder
is
you, we
correct, so I'm
swear.
going to re-roll it. All right.
Also,
So the
we
first roll is a
smell
17.
awful.
The second roll was an 8, but my persuasion is +7, so 15.
The 15 is the worst of your two.
Yeah, 15 is the worst of the two.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Do I
for
get a
his
bonus for being
resistance.
floating flesh blood? Like, is that worth anything?
No, you get a penalty for that.
Oh. What bizarro world are we living in? I
That's
demand a
why I
recount.
gave you disadvantage.
DM's out to get us, man.
He says, actually, how? No, that's fine. I won't go there. Yeah, he actually is going to. No, actually, I know what I'm going to do. I would like to have Alina remove the black token from.
No!
Yep.
Ooh.
Things were going
yeah.
so swimmingly.
Yeah.
You don't have a black token anymore.
We
That's
had
fine.
frightened an already traumatized man, gagged him on the floor,
Covered him in
talked to
fish
him
blood.
as evaporating fish blood.
Hmm.
Okay.
Going really well.
Our plans are good plans.
So if you remove that black token, he is going to kind of give you a terrified silent nod around Fedid's hand in agreement.
Do you think that me, as a socially oblivious grandpa, can tell if he's telling the truth?
He seems absolutely terrified and in full like this seems like a hostage situation where he's going, yes, I'll do whatever you want.
Okay. Well, then he'll probably do whatever we want, and I'm gonna give the nod to release him.
All right, I'm gonna let him go.
As soon as you do so, there is an actual nightcrawler bamf noise. There is a cloud of acrid smoke, and he is gone.
Oh, cool.
What?
Can I
I would like
Arcano?
saving throws from both of you.
Oh, excellent.
So please make me Constitution saving throws. Oh my goodness, we're getting like a lot of cheers there. What's the count on the bit counter already?
Oh, that's
Lots.
not great.
Lots and lots. Seabass is making it rain.
Someone has been saving their bits.
Okay. Yeah, that's not great.
Don't cheer this clusterfuck.
Hey, remember, the cheering is what's going to give you inspirations back. So
Glorpa's having a literal clusterfuck. She doesn't even care.
No.
yeah, I'm just going to
There's
quickly cut
clusters
away.
on this plant.
So as these saving throws are being made, as you're coughing from the acrid smoke. The camera cuts away to another room where there is an octopus making out with a fern.
This
Actually,
This
is
is what you all
probably
came here for. Don't pretend you're disgusted.
it's at least third base in octopus fern
Anatomy.
population. Whatever that looks like.
There's definitely some pollination happening
There's
somehow.
Yeah,
spores
there's some. Yeah,
are
Mhm.
occurring.
natural
there's
pollinator.
The door opens and a
there's a
succulent that's
gametophyte forming in the.
Mhm.
Anyway,
To the three
succulent-
people on the internet who have this very specific fetish, I
You're
don't know
welcome.
how you got here, but you're welcome.
Mhm.
It's mentioning succulent
okay, so
door.
saving throws. What are totals?
18.
Oh.
18 on
Uh,
a. That's a Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution, yeah.
Yep.
16 plus 2.
6.
Okay, so Copernicus coughs and and it looks really weird because you can't see the hands, but you see the splitting of the mouth when he coughs and the floating head moving back and forth. Fetid
Is
is
dead.
going to
Has
fall
died.
asleep.
Nice.
Fetid is going to go, ooh, it is dreamy times now.
Perfect. I was already
and
halfway there from all that fish.
oh yeah, and you are immediately deep in dreams of fairy fishes. Flying fishes with little fairy wings are dancing around your head.
Just like fly directly into your mouth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the pink elephants on parade sequence, except it's fish, and you're being like led around, like you're floating around after them, and they fly into your mouth, and your belly is distending, and it's just
Okay.
oh, more dog emergencies.
Dog time.
I like how Ollie just came over patiently to stand next to him and say, "I am here for a thing.
I do need things though.
Dog's being me.
Important dog emergencies."
He's making sad noises.
Oh,
Aw,
buddy.
He's just manipulating
How-
me. I have no
Buddy.
sympathy for him.
how are the birdies doing?
Oh, they're just preening. They're just hanging out.
All right.
Okay,
so I'm
so
passed out.
yep. So what's your plan now here?
Can I start to see myself if I'm getting coated in any of this powder? Like, am I starting to appear? Because I've now
Not-
covered in.
Not particularly.
Okay.
You kind of outline is there, but you can brush it off.
So I'd like to Arcana if I know what happened,
Sure.
and like where he might have gone, or like was this a teleport, or is he just hiding in the room and he's also invisible? I just want to get my
Go for
best
it.
guess at what happened. So natural 13 plus 10 is 23 with the BOB.
Excellent. You are pretty damn sure that you just witnessed a use of Misty Step,
Mhm.
but clearly not from a normal spell casting, but rather from some sort of fairy magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
Whether that's a fey touched powered Misty Step or an actual fairy, if he was an actual fairy creature, something like that. And this is like some kind of spore cloud of fairy dust, basically.
And do I think from this information, do I think it'll be hard to wake Fetid, or
Yes.
okay. So I'm gonna wipe the blood off as quick as I can.
Yep.
And then I assume that I can tuck Fetid like into my clothes, and then he's invisible, as long as he's like completely surrounded by the things that were affected by the spell.
No,
No.
you would have to recast the spell,
All right. I'll
which you
recast.
can do.
Yeah.
You
I'll do
could
that.
just like throw me out the window. I'll probably be fine.
Yep. There is a window here. In fact, if you look out the window, it's leaded glass, so it's not perfectly transparent,
Yeah.
but it is openable. You can open the actually it probably opens up the window pane. But if you look out, you can see standing out in front of the building is disguised Ugna and Tromlin.
Trying to look nonchalant.
Okay.
I'm like
All right.
leaning against a building, just all like
I'm gonna.
definitely not
Oh,
not doing
outside,
anything
can I see
suspicious
any
here.
sign of the servant appeared outside?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna huck Fetid out. So and it's
Yeah.
hopefully they. Oh wait, and does it open? Like I don't want to throw him through the glass. Or
Yeah, you can open the glass. You can open the window.
Smash.
So I'm gonna open, toss, and close, but keep an eye as to whether or not it's noticed that he's
Are you in any way warning the people below?
no.
Fair.
Perception check.
Can I try to catch him?
Well, first of all,
Please.
make a perception check
By
that
all
you realize
means.
this is happening.
Or I can throw my d20 across the room. Cool, cool, cool.
22.
Ooh. 12.
I'm gonna bounce off your head.
Yes.
22. So Tromlin happens to glance up and see incoming Fetid.
I will yell, "Fetid," point, and I guess attempt to catch him.
Ugna, roll me an initiative roll. This is basically your reaction.
Sweet.
How quickly do you react to this information?
17.
Okay, quite quickly. So as
Look, I'm used to, he will point and say something and I will do a thing. I've been trained for this.
so you're standing there working very hard to appear nonchalant.
I'm all like,
You know, people are
Just
passing
chillin'.
by going, what's with that orc trying to
hello,
look
good
nonchalant?
day. Good day, sir.
What's
Hello,
up,
fellow
orcs?
people.
I have very little to do, so I am leaning here.
And then suddenly Tromlin goes, Fetid!
And I just immediately go, whoop.
I caught the football.
Yeah, make me a dex-based attack roll.
Ooh. I am very good at those.
Not as good as you are at strength-based
No,
attack
it's true,
rolls,
but
still
I'm
pretty
still
good.
pretty damn good.
That's why I'm
17.
glad I picked a small character, so that we can have opportunities like this.
I cradle him
Throwing
gently
you
like
off the
baby.
What'd you get?
Like a
17.
Bloxo falling down.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
no problem. So you
Nice.
you do like a volleyball scoop. You like launch yourself
Whoop.
across the ground and do a in the gravel as you like catch him in your both hands.
And I'm still sleeping like a baby.
You are still asleep.
I will stand up and like cradle him against me. Be like, hey buddy, wake up. Hey. Hey.
You're gonna regret that.
Oh, it's oozy. It's already staining my armor.
Like hitting it.
Or your
Yeah.
disguise. It's
But I'm
staining
like
your disguise. And
poking him to
Copernicus,
see if
what's
he's
next?
alive. He's breathing. It smells
Is there a
awful.
closet in this room?
Mhm.
He's snoring, in fact. There's a wardrobe. There are no closets here, but there's a wardrobe in this room like there was in just a smaller, less fancy one.
Okay. I'm going to.
There's a lion and
quickly-
a witch in it.
Hey, cat.
Kitty.
Oh no! Roll initiative.
Oh
I'm
no,
go-
it's the lion.
coming after both of them. I'm going to try and open it and peek in as quickly as I can.
Okay,
Nothing
close.
inside. Just close. Okay. And then I'm going to quickly run to the door and just crack it open and see if I can see him, the servant out there, or hear anything if the servant's like running.
Nope, just the guard still looking bored, who clearly hasn't heard anything.
Okay. Then I'm going to write I'm going to like pull out my book on the desk really quickly and write a note to Ugna. And I'm not going to have time to think of a message. Pernie's panicking, so it's just going to say, "Look out, servant escaped."
You
That just
literally hear
appears in my
Copernicus's
brain.
voice just say, again though it's got that filter of otherworldliness, so it does the whole like, look out, servant escape.
And I like look around. I'm like, oh, Otto's back. Just the servant's gone. We gotta get him.
I gotta feed cats. I'll be right back. Getting bit.
Right.
Come on.
All these demanding animals we live with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
seriously.
I'm going to write a quick note to Glorpa saying, "We gotta go."
So
I gotta
Glorpa,
come.
you do not hear that in your mind
Oh,
because you
The octopus didn't sign my book.
well no, but it's still Glorpa, so you would. But Glorpa getting all hot and heavy with this fern is falling into a post-coital nap phase
Oh no!
Oh God.
during which you're going to have a vision. And I
bet
think
I
that's a good
am.
place to take the break.
Oh my goodness.
And I will give you your vision
Oh my
as
goodness.
soon as we come back.
All right.
Excellent segue.
We are going to break. See you all in what, 10, 15?
10 minutes,
All
the
right.
usual.
Yeah,
10
sounds
minutes.
good.
Sounds good. See y'all later.
See you shortly.